as always, Ted, kick us off. You okay? You
I'm
relax?
good. I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good. I
Okay. I
moved on.
just,
I'm
I love,
over it.
we know it. We've got a fullback. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
OU baseball on a bit of a hot streak. They've won 7 straight. They go out, sweep BYU, clear number 1 in the standings for the Big 12. It's their 4th conference sweep of the season. First time they've done it since the Big 12 was formed. So that's a nice little run that they're on. And they've got Texas coming to town this week for their Big 12 series. That's going to be a big one. But OU baseball's in a pretty good spot right now. I think they're in the top 25 in RPI, and the conversation has been there's a chance that this team hosts a regional.
I feel like that is always a massive deal
Yeah.
when you are in that conversation. And is it, I want to say, is it the first time they've ever swept that many Big 12 series?
Yeah, first time.
That
Four
is,
sweeps in the season. It's the first time since they joined the conference.
that's, that's big time. I feel like every time we mention the baseball team, I have to mention how much I love Skip Johnson.
Oh, he's the best.
He is the best. But yeah, OU baseball. I know that there have been some rough patches, like some head scratchers throughout the season, but overall, been a really solid team this year, from what I can tell.
Yep, they've got some good arms. Offense is there, generating some runs. You know, they've found some depth. Spikerman's been out for a while, and you know the guy came and played center for him's really fast, incredibly fast. So they've got speed all over the baseball team. Guys are hitting. It's in a good spot right now. I like it.
Love it. Who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
Women's gymnastics.
Oh,
Uh, the shocker didn't make the final. Got knocked out in the semifinal round. This team was really, really, really good, and it caught them all by surprise, and they just had a little bit of a letdown, not a little bit, a big letdown moment, and couldn't crawl out of the hole from it. It was a shocker to say the least.
the announcers I was watching, I watched the whole thing. The announcers were stunned after their vault rotation,
Mm-hmm.
because vault is kind of what, and going a couple weeks back, had a couple of the associate head coaches of the gymnastics team on the huddle, and vault is kind of what makes them so much better than everyone else. Their ability to score on that event, and it just went, just they picked the wrong day to have a bad day.
Yeah, and they'd been next level all year in everything. They had been money by far and away the best team in the country. So frustrating. I hate that for them.
It's a reminder that gymnastics can be cruel, man. If you mess one rotation up, you're kind of toast.
Yeah, there's no like you can't have like a dramatic fourth. I mean, you can, but if you have like a really bad one, like it could like the game's already over type of situation.
And credit to them for continuing to battle, but they had to have known
Yeah.
that quickly, that early, that
And that affects you the rest of the way too, for sure.
they just messed it all up. But credit to KJ Kindler. They were interviewing her after, and she handled it with a ton of class. That was just an extremely uncharacteristic performance by them. And from what I can tell, the event that kind of separates them from the rest of the pack. So just
Yeah.
it was a bummer, man. It looked like they were destined for another title, but sports.
Yeah. I did see the men made the final. They got third, um, which, they've made the final every single year of Mark Williams' 25-year career, which is just like an absurd run.
They're very good at gymnastics. Great program. I'm not worried about the women's program. Think they're going to bounce back nicely next
They'll
season.
be
If I
fine.
had to, yeah, if I had to make a prediction, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that KJ Kindler's going to have that group in title contention again.
Yeah, they'll be all right.
All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first, attention business owners, you need Insurica in your life. Insurica is one of the country's largest insurance brokers with 30 offices throughout Oklahoma, Texas, and the Southwest. Insurica is able to customize programs by accessing the latest information from many insurance carriers. They compare and contrast coverage offerings and pricing in order to design a cost-effective, comprehensive program to meet your business's specific needs. If your business partners with Insurica, you'll save huge amounts of money and take back control of your total cost of risk. If your business wants to be best in class, connect with Insurica at insurica.com. That's INSURICA.com.
And head to opolisclothing.com for our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's OPOLIS clothing.com. Use promo code TED, TED, for 10% off. That's opolisclothing.com. Use promo code TED for 10% off. Buttery soft and 10% off.
For my winner of the weekend, thought about going with OU softball. Ted finally made it out to Love's Field to watch a game after the spring game. That stadium is awesome.
It is.
It is. Place was packed. They ruled Houston 10-2. Kind of some drama to get the last out to complete the run rule. It was weird. There was some tension in the stadium about completing the run rule, which was kind of funny.
I saw a clip. Someone posted a clip on Twitter of one of the Houston girls, I guess, hit the home run.
Oh, it was a bat flip, my friend.
Yeah, it's like interesting bat flip while you're in the middle of getting run ruled.
Yeah, it was about as bat flippy as you could get. Now, to her credit, that thing
was a
was
bomb.
hammered. But yeah, interesting choice. I'm not the bat flip police. Bat flip away, everyone. I don't care. But it's just a fantastic experience at that new stadium. Crowd was great. It's loud. Like they built it like it's loud. Like I love the amount of noise that's in there. That program, they've just set the standard in every single way of the sport. Ted, it was really, really cool and always fun to watch them beat down an opponent and run rule someone. I had a really, really good time.
You think they delayed the statue situation? You think Patty was happy about that, or is she like, let's get this thing done and get it over with?
If I had to guess, I think Patty will pay someone to have that statue destroyed at some point. I think she hates it, but it is what it is. It's a product of your success, Patty. Deal with it.
Like, I don't know what to tell you. Stop doing so well then if you don't want a statue.
No, but she doesn't exactly like when the attention is all on her. So I imagine having a statue in front of the stadium is her worst nightmare, but just have to deal with it, coach. Sorry.
That's funny.
My winner of the weekend, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Woo. Ted, it seems like the Timberwolves may have heard all the people talking about how Phoenix is a bad matchup for them. I had a lot of people saying that Phoenix had handled them in the regular season, which was true. But a lot of people were saying Minnesota's not going to be able to play their double big lineups against Phoenix. Jump shooting's too good. Naz Reid and Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. You're not going to be able to have all those guys on the floor. Well, all they did was just smack the hell out of Phoenix in game one.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards went off in the third quarter, and Durant was fantastic for Phoenix in this game. He was not the issue, but it appears that Minnesota took all of that stuff personally, and they came out and proved a point. 25-point blowout in game one of that series. And Ted, I think Anthony Edwards is your guy.
Yeah.
I think he's your guy. He's got this great footwork. He was killing them in the mid-range. He was 4 of 8 from 3. but he was just talking so much trash, like hitting shots and yelling at Kevin Durant as they came back down the floor. I don't know. He seems like your kind of guy.
I like that. I like it whenever you, as long as you can back it up. Yeah, and like there's a fine line between obnoxious and like in the moment, being in the game and feeling it, which I love that confidence. So yeah, keep it up. I'm all for it.
Minnesota's huge, man.
Yeah.
They have so much size. They made Phoenix look small. And I don't think sometimes in a series in the NBA, there's like the classic game one overreaction, right? I just don't see how Phoenix can beat them unless Durant and Booker
Go off.
just completely go off. And Booker didn't play particularly well in this game, but Minnesota they've got so much size. And now Grayson Allen rolled his ankle and went out. So Phoenix already felt really thin, and now they feel even thinner if he's not close to 100% with the ankle. I don't know, man. I was really really impressed with the way that Minnesota looked in that game, and that place was rocking. It seemed like that was an awesome atmosphere. Rudy Gobert had a massive effect on the game. It could not have gone better for the Minnesota Timberwolves in game one of that series.
You probably get a better effort from Phoenix in game two, or like they'll be really trying to steal one before they head back home. But
But the thing is,
what can
Durant
they
was
do?
great. I I know I'm not supposed to say positive things about him. His jump shooting in that game, I mean, he was on,
Mm-hmm.
and they lost by 25.
That's a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah. I mean, Durant was really, really good offensively. I mean, they had no answers for his pull up jumper game. Like, and no one does. If he's making those shots, that it's a wrap, man. There's no one on the face of the planet that can guard that. But yeah, he was that good, had 31, and the game wasn't close.
Yeah. Well,
So maybe Phoenix is who we thought they were.
maybe.
And
I
maybe it was a bad matchup for Phoenix.
right. Yeah. Well, I guess whenever you when a team can grab onto anything, they that you throw them something out there about how it's a bad matchup and they can go prove it. Well, then that's always ends up being fun to watch. And I'm guessing that was probably the edge that Anthony Edwards had out there.
No doubt. My loser of the weekend. Yeah, I watched Texas' spring game. What's up? Quinn Ewers. Now, he only got two series in their spring game. But first one, batted ball, pick six. Not great. I mean, not how you want to get things going in the old spring game. But really, he's the loser of the weekend because Arch Manning came in there and lit it up, Ted.
Yep.
First pass, and the guy was wide open, but first pass is 75-yard touchdown. Okay, it is what it is. But if you go and watch all of his throws, I know there are some Arch haters out there. I know there are some people that believe his recruiting ranking was tied to his last name and all that. Like, I don't care. If you go and watch the guy throw the football and play from the pocket, he can play. He looked
That's what
good.
I've seen.
He looked good.
I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him to have a final decision because it's all just kind of been like spring game stuff or mop up duty, whatever. But I like I like his footwork and I like his delivery, and he's got a good throws a really good ball, accurate ball, plenty of zip. It's got nice touch on it. I agree. Like he looks the part whenever he plays quarterback.
He had impressive calmness in the pocket. That's what really stood out to me. And remember, he was playing with the first team offensive line. And they did a nice job protecting. But when it felt like things were maybe closing in on him, you just look at where his eyes are. They're up. He's not looking at the rush at all. He was calm and did a really nice job stepping up into the space in the pocket and delivering accurate throws. I watched someone put a clip of every single throw he had in the spring game together. And he only had one throw, and it was to the transfer Matthew Golden down the sideline. He threw him a hospital ball. Would not have been good. But unlike Boganowski, Texas's DB did not just absolutely destroy him when he could have. But it was, other than that throw, hit a really nice day. I saw 19 to 25 for 355 and 3 touchdowns. He had one long one to Isaiah Bond, the kid for Bama that transferred, dropped it in the bucket perfectly. Safety, over the top safety was late. Just, I don't know, man. Ewers didn't exactly light it up last year.
No, I I've said it a million times. He's good, but he ain't great. He's better than average, but he is not he's not anywhere close to where he's like ranked in like the Heisman and all of that stuff. He's just not that type of player. Solid, throws really nice ball when everything is good. He's got good pocket, and they've been running the ball well. He's a quarterback that does a good job for you, but he's not a good, you know, when things get off schedule, he's not great. And he's not a great athlete. And Manning's a better athlete. It's a weird thing to say that a Manning at quarterback is a better athlete than someone else on the field, but I don't know. No, that doesn't mean that they make the move, because experience matters and all that. But it's one of those things that could drive the wedge. I mean, when you see it, you see it. I mean, the guys in the locker room aren't dumb.
Steve Sarkisian has to love this, and he has to hate it. Because remember, Malik Murphy left for Duke. You want to feel good about your quarterback depth. And they had another freshman that looked pretty dang solid as well. But there's no doubt, after watching Arch perform the way that he did, that he feels better about his quarterback situation. I mean, there's just no doubt. However, he was so good that this is going to linger over that program. I mean, it just is. That it is going to be, it's going to be over that program the entire offseason. I don't know if it's a distraction, but I guess if you're Steve Sarkisian, in a perfect world, Quinn Ewers sees that and goes, okay, I got to keep getting better. I got to keep improving, and is extra motivated, and you get the best version of Quinn Ewers in the fall. But Arch looked good, man. I don't know how anyone could watch that and say he didn't. Like, even the biggest Arch Manning hater has to watch that and go, okay, yeah, he can do a little something. I thought he looked.
What game? He came in a game last year and performed really well.
It's like Tech, maybe. I don't know.
Is that what it was? Yeah. But that's really all we've seen of him in live action, and he answered the call on that night.
Maybe there's a situation brewing there. I don't know. It just, I wonder who gives their offense the highest ceiling. Maybe that's the best way to put it.
Well, here's how I'll say it. Whenever we play Texas, I hope Quinn Ewers is playing quarterback.
I'm sure no one is going to take that and send it to Quinn Ewers. That's fine.
Well, I mean, it's just
we're just a couple old has-beens. They don't care what we think.
It's not and again, it's not that he's not bad. He's just like he's not a like, to me, the big difference between the two is, I think that Manning, and I haven't seen a whole lot of him, but I think that he's better and he's more athletic when things get off schedule, and that to me is where Quinn Ewers struggles.
This is the way I think. Looking at Texas' season last year, it's interesting. You got a possible first rounder at tight end in Jatavion Sanders. Xavier Worthy went and set the 40 record at the combine. Adonai Mitchell, probably going to be another first rounder. Quinn Ewers threw for 22 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
And they had the best running back in the Big 12 for a stretch till he got hurt.
He didn't exactly, like, when you take everything into account, he had weapons everywhere and didn't exactly light it up.
Yeah.
So it's, I'm not saying this just because Arch looks so good in the spring game. Like there is a there is a big case to be made that Quinn Ewers held that offense back a year ago from what it
Yeah.
could have been. And let's not forget, Steve Sarkisian was one of the best play callers and play designers in football.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It just with what last year was and how good Arch looked, and I know it's just a spring game, but it's an interesting situation in Austin. That's all I'm saying.
No, I totally agree. We'll see. You know, again, like it's the backup quarterback deal where you often go in, you got a much more favorable condition to go in and play well. You know, and everyone's always talking about you don't get to see the backup quarterback out there against Alabama's first team D and you know all of that stuff. So backup quarterback always has a tendency to just generally look a little bit better, but I think there may be something to this one.